Boys and girls, surprise! It's Kmigs and I here to talk about things in the league. This happened very impromptu. It's funny. I've been wanting to do this, so I'm on vacation, so I've got a little bit more time to waste. And I was thinking to myself, like, who do I want to harass? Because we haven't done one with you, we haven't done one with Unicorn, we haven't done one with Cam. And I was literally sitting around this morning thinking about it, and then you texted me talking shit about Dan, and I was like, perfect. Let's talk later. So you weren't, of course, talking shit
Not
about Dan. You were
talking
just like,
shit
where is
about
he?
Dan.
But you're like you're
Not
concerned for his safety. You were
my
asking me, should you
concern
call the
for his
police?
well-being and how I'm
Yeah,
thinking about calling the police for a wellness check.
yeah, that's all we want.
He
And I
won't
was like,
respond
maybe
to
we
my Adele
should.
gift. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he still probably hasn't responded. And I told you that a light amount of peer pressure, and you're at that point now.
I know what's gonna happen. He's gonna randomly respond in about a week or two and say, "Yeah, sorry, man, I'm not interested." That's what it's
Well,
gonna be.
have you tried talking shit about the Eagles in the chat? Have you done that yet or no?
Talking
Yeah.
shit about what?
Talking shit about the Eagles. Whenever someone says anything about the Eagles, he pops in the chat
Oh,
like
he'll pop
he's
in.
been there the whole
I'll try
time. Yeah,
that.
we'll have to try
I'll
that
try.
tonight after
The
we
thing that
post
I've
this.
noticed is like he'll pop in the chat, but he doesn't check his DM.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, didn't
I
he
think
send
we
a screen?
overwhelmed him. What?
He sent a screenshot once. You remember that? He sent a screenshot of like another league, like the chat in another league, and then it had like he had like 90 something messages, and somebody else was like, "Dude, what the fuck is that?" Um, I swear that happened. Maybe I'm crazy, but I swear I remember that happening. Uh,
I think
Dan,
we
if you're
overwhelmed him. I think we got him to join too many leagues, and he wasn't ready for it.
we did peer pressure him into a couple. Is he? He's not in no K Migs. He's in the promotion league. Not that you're in there anymore, but it was nine of us. Now it's eight of us. He's not in my 32 team league. Is he in no fun? I think he's probably in no fun league. He's probably in
In
another
one of
fix.
those, he's in one of those, either no fun or another fix. He's in a two tight end league. I mean, he's
Yeah,
in like
he's in a lot of
quite
leagues.
a
He's very good. He's very
yeah,
committed. We
yeah.
just miss him. Is all. So,
But I don't
uh,
think he's as a degenerate as like some of us are, where I can keep up with like 15 leagues and DMs on
yeah,
all 15.
I think he's a draft degenerate. I think he just enjoys being there for the draft and running the team. But then when it comes to like the crazy like trading and I think he picks his guys and sticks with it, which I respect. I wish I could be that content. I might have more success to my name instead of
I
the
think we
fucking
should
shit I
spend
got.
more time on Dan and trying to understand the roster moves that he decided not to make because I'm trying to make a trade with him. And I'm looking at guys that he kept on his roster.
Right.
And I know you can't pull it up,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'd
So
love to see.
so I
Dan, if you're
apologize that
watching
you
this,
guys can't see this on the thing, but I think I
Dan, if
was
you're
telling Migs.
watching this, I hope you're okay.
Yeah,
And
Kadarius Tony for $28, Isaiah Spiller for $19, and KJ Osborne for $14 this year.
why couldn't he have cut them for like a major discount?
Major discount. I wonder how much they would have cost. I don't know how much they would have cost. Basically, if he
But
had cut
that's what
all of them, he probably would have gotten $30, $40 back, and he would be at
and
$103 instead of
actually try
63.
to sign people that
But
are
he's at
going to
63.
play.
Yeah, but he's at $63. I really feel like the unless I'm wrong or crazy, I really think the veteran auction is going to go. Rick gets whoever he wants. Everybody else can go suck themselves, and then the real veteran auction will begin, where we can all kind of pick up the scraps. You're at 85. Flynn's at 90. This is all pre-draft pick signings. You're at 85.
Yeah.
Flynn's at 90. Code's at 64. Rick at 490, Chase at 246, but Chase is going to drop into the double digits. Allen's at 66, Project's at 109, Webster Tigers at 88, Dan at 63. So he's right in the middle of the pack. Um, but I mean, I definitely agree with you. I think he could have trimmed some of those guys. I mean, he trimmed Russ. That was the main concern. I'm glad he got rid of Russ because that was a scary one.
He's got some expensive guys. Anyways, I'm trying to help him out. He's not interested. Whatever. So
Do you
yeah,
want to
no,
plug
it's
what your
all good.
deal is? I know what your deal is. It's a similar one from what you sent. You were sending Alan, I think.
What was the one that I was sending out for with A Chain?
The one that Adam Schefter allegedly leaked.
Oh
It was
no, this is a
really
different
Alan
deal.
sending me screenshots saying, "Should I
This
do
is a
this?"
different deal. I was ready to move. A-Chain, but not just straight up for 111. I really wanted like that. I think it was 204 I was asking for. Um, Alan liked the deal, but he wanted to hold on to 204 because I think he ended up getting Penix with that. I wasn't gonna trade A-Chain just for 111. It just like I drafted like he's too good. Like when he does pop
Yeah,
off, he can put up 30, 40, 50 points, dude. Like the
I'm
only
not an
reason
A
why
chain
is
guy, but you would have been crazy to sell him just for 111.
yeah. I yeah, I mean I'm an A-Chain guy from what I've seen in that offense. I mean the biggest issue is like durability, which I guess, he missed multiple games, but like what running back doesn't have like durability issues? I mean A-Chain's more quite like I'm more skeptical just because of like his build, but I don't know. He put on some weight or something. We'll see if that actually like means anything. But
Yeah,
dude, when he does play in that offense, I mean he had like two
oh, he's
50-point
nuts.
games.
Yeah, my
Um
fear is just that Mostert's still there. That's my fear. Is like everybody's just like A chain should this, A chain should that. Mostert's still there. Like that's the main concern that I have. If Mostert retired this year, got cut, I think I'd be all aboard the A chain train. But the fact that Mostert's still there makes me think he's going to vulture shit at the goal line, and A chain will still have these break off these crazy runs. I think, but I don't know. It's still just scary to me to just fully commit to that
yeah, I
personally
mean A-Chain's
at
never going
his
to be like an
price.
every down back. He's never
Yeah.
going to be an every down, but I don't think I need him to be. Um
No, but I wish. Go ahead.
I was just looking at ways to, I guess, like extend my window while getting guys on cheap deals, right? And so like who I thought I could get at 111. Ugh, I can't remember who was there. Was it Brooks that was there? I can't remember who I was trying to move A-Chain for. Or actually Brooks might have already been taken. Let me see when I think Brooks was taken. I
Yeah,
think Chase took.
Chase snagged him at I think 108 or 109.
Yeah, so I can't remember what that was about then. Who I thought I'd get, or maybe it was just like rookie fever in general, and I could get two picks for A-Chain. But
Something like
it's
that.
fine.
Yeah.
I'm glad he didn't want to do it.
Yeah. So how did that
In
trade?
hindsight, in
In
hindsight,
hindsight,
I'm glad he didn't
yeah.
want to do it.
How did that trade then come out with you and Chase? Right. So Chase, you were at 112. You slid back to 113
I
with
think was that
Chase,
with Chase, or
or
was that
was it
with Chase?
Morgan? It was Morgan. Well, the Chase ended up with 112. Um,
Chase
I don't
ended up
know.
doing a deal with
Refresh my memory.
Morgan got 113,
And
and
then
then wait, let me hold on.
we don't do our research here.
Not for this.
I literally told Migs before we started. I was just like, we're just gonna fucking wing this. Kmigs and Chase. That was your Marvin Mims dump. Yes. So you got 301 and 113 for 112.
Yeah, 301 and 113. I think because at that point, at 112, I was like, yeah, I'll move back one. He's not going to take Knicks. I kind of wanted Knicks. I like the idea of getting a QB. It's funny because one of your guys' mock drafts had me getting Knicks. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm not going to take Knicks. I ended up, but now months later, I think Knicks is, yeah, he might be a bust, but I think he's guaranteed to start for like 2 seasons and to just
Yeah.
have a guy on a cheap deal. And if he plays well, he plays well. I like having some depth at all my positions. And I feel like who was the best player available there at a more important like position where I've got like turnover coming up, like Tua on a 1 year deal. Um, so sorry, I think one of my kids just called out of his bed, but I'm good. Um, But yeah, I don't know. And
Let's
so
see.
that was the plan. I was like, if I can get an extra third out of it, great to move back one spot
Yeah.
when I know I'm still gonna get my guy.
You ended up getting Roman Wilson there, 301. Other people that went after Knicks, Ricky Pearsall, Trey Benson, Keon Coleman, Michael Penix went at 204. Our Lord and Savior Blake Corum at 205. Adonai Mitchell, Jalen Wright, Marshawn. So not really any notable players. I mean, Penix obviously really notable. Keon Coleman, Code's number one wide receiver in the entire world at 203.
Yeah, I mean that was the guy Codes wanted the whole time. That was his number one.
Yeah.
That was number one on his board, man.
So it all worked out for everybody. Um, but yeah, good draft overall. A lot of movement. None of the what was really fun. I think about this draft is last time I think we were really pissed. I'm still a little pissed at Cam for some of the trades he made in that first one. Whereas this draft, everybody made a lot of moves and there was a lot of talk and a lot of trading, but there were none that were like, oh my god, what a steal for so and so. Like it was all like, okay, I respect that. That's a good move. I like this for
Well,
both
Chase
sides.
had like 90% of the draft picks, so I think that
Yeah,
really like
influence
informs
things.
what kind of trades. Like there were so many moves that could have happened if I think the picks were more distributed. But at the end of the day, he's just like, probably, why do I need to trade back or trade here when I've got like the whole second? And
Yeah,
so that was interesting. Yeah, last year, what's funny is Cam fleeced, was it Zoinks, right? There was two trades that he made,
probably.
but
Yeah, he did fleece Zoinks. That was one of them. All because somebody in
Zoinks
the
and
chat said,
somebody else.
yeah,
Zoinks obviously isn't here anymore. He's not with us. Rip. And then there's another guy. I just remember. Yeah, I don't know. No, that was
the
the only.
trade to get to
Yeah, I mean, we were.
104, the trade to get to 104 and take Richardson was infuriating.
You got Rich. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
wild.
But no more Zoinks. Who gives a shit?
No more Zoinks in my opinion.
Um,
All
what were
because
the big
someone said,
trades? I mean, if you think about, Rick has had number one overall because I gave him his pick back for Amon Ra when he
yep,
first took over that team. But I'd
yep.
still do that trade now.
Oh yeah, a 101 for Amon Ra. I mean, I love 101 obviously, but
I mean, just
I'd take
I'm
Amon Ra
looking
too.
at like given my team, right? Like, yeah, if I knew it was 101, it'd probably be like Amon Ra and something else. But at the end of the day, like, I knew I was going to be contending. Give me Amon Ra, so I'm happy about it.
Yeah,
What
Cam
I'm
moves up.
trying to
Yeah, he
do, I
is
mean, I
great.
love Goff. Just signed that extension. That's awesome,
Yep.
right? I think the biggest question mark is like, will Deshaun Watson play more than 6 games a season? Because that
Yeah.
contract is going to be fucking killer, dude. If
Well,
he
also
can't,
too, you also wonder what point he gets to with the Browns, right? So we just saw what happened. Russ Wilson got all that money with the
yeah.
Broncos, and now all of a sudden he's no longer there, right? So at what point in time does Deshaun Watson get that similar treatment of, hey man, this just isn't working out? You want to sleep? I love you. Good night. I'm recording. Do you want a kiss or no? That's fine.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
beautiful. Oh
yeah, it's
my
great.
gosh.
We're so happy.
The whole league,
Ah,
the whole league just saw that.
I know. I'll cut that part out. Cut that. Cut that
That's
in half.
really nice.
We've never cut
Yeah.
anything. I've never cut anything.
No, I don't know, but I mean, hopefully he turns it around enough where like he's a serviceable starter for me. Like, from a
Yeah,
contract perspective, I kind of feel like the Browns, dude. I didn't give him that fucking contract to play like
to
six
suck.
games a
Yeah.
year. Yeah, yeah,
So that's what I was
but
going to ask you. You've got that unique perspective as a Browns fan. So he is your team starting quarterback, but he's also starting for you in our league, whether it's at the super flex spot or the QB1 spot, depending on how it goes. So where is your head at? I mean, obviously you want him to turn it around, right? But at what point in time, as a Browns fan, are you done with it? And at what point in time, as an owner, somebody's putting fireworks off over there. At what point in time, as a Browns fan, are you done with it? And at what point in time, as a Deshaun Watson owner in the league, are you done with
well, I've actually sold off of him in some leagues in fantasy just because I didn't like. I was like a major homer and like thought he was gonna like ball out, and I just
it?
didn't
Yeah,
think it was gonna be
just
the disaster. So I think I was able to sell him in a couple leagues.
right
This is before I knew he was gonna completely shit the bed through like lack of
before he was
playing.
gonna. Yeah, before you knew
But
what he's doing.
I mean, in our league, what choice do I really have? Like, if he plays great, he's still like, nobody wants him for more reasons than just, if he's
Right.
playing well. Um, I don't know. We'll figure out what happens when that time comes. I mean, if let's just say theoretically he shits the bed and it's like another year of like wasted cap and whatnot, I'll have to look at. I guess I'll have to read the bylaws. No, and have to understand what my
You
options
mean
are to
you'll
get
have
rid
to
of a
DM me?
massive contract.
Yes, that's
My
actually my
hope,
next question as I pull up his contract
best
here.
case
Okay.
scenario for me, Deshaun plays like Deshaun plays a whole season, and at least I know that I've got a quarterback that can play a whole season. He doesn't have to be elite. Then that
Like
gives me some
where are you happy?
flexibility.
Like if he plays the whole season, he ends at quarterback 26, 27. Like are you like, oh
No, I'm
thank
not
God we
happy at
got there?
that. I mean, um,
He's signed
I'll
for
be
5 years.
happy if he can finish between like honestly, dude, if he can finish between 10 and 15, I'll just be happy from a point of like, all right, at least I have another quarterback to play. But like, and it's not just wasted cap on my team. But like, yeah, I mean, I kind of feel like the Browns in that I thought I was getting a steal from at the startup, and I thought it was going to be like a top 6 quarterback, something like that. I don't think
Yeah,
that's very
same way it was
realistic.
last.
I haven't seen enough of that. We'll see if Tua signs an extension. If they actually sign to an extension, that's going to make me feel better because even though I don't think he's like that good, I mean, he's he's decent in that system to put up points and be like a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, even if he dumps it to Mostert or A Chain or tosses it to Tyreek or Waddle, I mean, he's
I mean,
set.
they've just got so much speed, dude. Like that's the thing. You can get the ball to like any of those guys,
Yeah, that's where it
and
gets
they can take it
interesting
to the house.
too. You've kind of made out with a couple of those, right? Coming out of the startup draft, you didn't make a splash with Allen, you didn't make a splash with Burrow, you didn't make a splash with Mahomes, but you've gotten Goff, who's on a $21 contract this year, which is one of the better
That wasn't my
contracts.
original pick, though.
No,
Goff
no, but
wasn't
like
my original.
you've managed to get him onto your squad with it, is what I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah,
Tua for 59. It really is, and then you've obviously got Bo Nix now with his deal. It's really just Deshaun. You're paying 104 this year, 151 next year, 232 the year after that, and it's scary. It's not Russell Wilson level by any means, but it's definitely the point that you're like, man, this sucks because it's dead cap. And if you see Bo Nix start to play well, at what point are you like, man, maybe I just ship him to somebody for and pay for it or cut him or whatever the case
yeah.
may be. There's
Well,
there's
that's
no good option.
yeah. If Nix looks decent and if Tua gets an extension, then I have that option. Then I have some
Right.
flexibility. But again, it's who wants Deshaun, whether it's the contract or the person, whatever. I don't know what I can do there. But the Tua deal was awesome. I mean, like I got Jared Goff 2 years ago for like Mac Jones, Kareem Hunt, and a first with Goff. That was awesome. That was with where did I get that from? Booty Disciple, I think.
Fucking
And
probably.
then
Yeah,
Tua I
Goff.
got with
You got Goff, Jerry Judy, a first and a second. Oh my God, this is how have we not talked about this one? Jared Goff, Jerry Judy, a first and a second for Kareem Hunt, Darnell Mooney, Mac Jones, and a third. How has that not come up as one of the
it
worst?
has come up in the chat. It has come up in the chat.
That's
But then
horrible.
on top of that, I mean, Bolt and I traded like two right after the startup, like before the season. It was like Tua for Zach Wilson or Tua and a third for Zach Wilson or something.
Yeah,
And obviously Tua's been the better side of that. I've been lucky with some of those trades, but like after the startup, I had so many pieces. I remember flipping a lot of guys and getting firsts, and then I know like Cam and I give each other shit about like that Saquon deal,
Saquon
but
for
at
two
that
firsts.
time I
Yeah,
had like a whole bunch of picks, dude.
yeah.
I still had multiple seconds after shipping out like two like or multiple firsts after shipping that out for Saquon. So I don't know. I just set myself up well after that startup. There's still a couple contracts, dude, that I am worried about. I mean, like Jamison Williams. Like
Yeah,
I traded Pittman for Jamison Williams. I'm not sure why I did that at the time.
rookie fever.
I think it was what?
Rookie fever, bro. Dynasty bikini season. I want the sexiest player, and Jameson Williams was one of the sexiest at
Yeah,
the
I
time.
don't know, but I can't remember why I did that. But and then Pittman went on to have like his best season, I think, right? Um,
Yep.
so there's one that Bolt won for sure. But I mean, that's a big contract, dude. Jameson's got a big contract. Waddle's contract next year is like upwards of like 100 something. Brees's contract. That's one thing that I also try to do is like you'll notice like I try not like I know Cam and there's like you guys like to have the studs on like really big contracts, but I don't know. I like the flexibility of depth, and
Yeah.
so I try to get guys that I could have.
Waddle 117 next year. Brees 110 next year.
But you look at
Amon
your
Ra.
roster or Cam's roster or something like, I mean, you guys have quite a few people on like big contracts.
Yeah.
Um, and then I got McLaurin. Remember, I got McLaurin from Morgan for I can't remember
Fourth.
what, but he paid half his contract, so I only have McLaurin for 40 right now.
Yeah, another big one. No, I mean you've definitely got great pieces. Yeah, he's $80 this year, but you're paying for half of it. He's paying, yeah, and he's paying for the other half too. I mean, you definitely have the depth and the pieces. I think it's for sure one of the more well constructed teams I've seen, contract league or not contract league. And it's fun. I think that's the thing that's interesting about our league is that you have
I can't
teams like
hear you.
yours.
I just
You get
can't hear you.
Yeah, so I think it's the thing that's interesting about is our league and the format is you have teams like yours that are built with depth and pieces and this and that, and you have teams like mine where it's super top heavy. You have teams where it's like Morgan's where he's got everybody for years, and then you've got Rick who rebuilt just by saving cap, and we've got Chase who rebuilt just by getting picks. I think it really is, diverse and exciting. So, how are you feeling about obviously still being the champion from last year,
Uh oh.
looking forward to this year? How does it how does that feel? Are you still kind of riding that high? Is it a new season for you? Somewhere in between?
Wait, are you there? You
Yeah, can
there?
you hear me?
Yep, yep. What'd you say?
So how does it feel coming into the season? Obviously winning last season and then coming into this next one. Are you still kind of riding that high? Is it gone away? Is it a new year, new me type thing, or somewhere in between?
Good. As long as I keep seeing that like trophy next to my name, no, I mean that's cool. I want to keep it running. I mean, I think I still have like a really good team to run it back. So many variables though, dude. Like who knows what's gonna happen between now and once we get deep into the season. But it's really good to have a championship in the league. It's a bummer that I didn't win it. Like I won it in the last year before we upped the buy-in, right? So like next season it's gonna be like a bigger pot.
Right.
Um, but I've told you before, dude. I've told everyone, and I'm in like a ton of fucking leagues, dude. But this is my favorite one. And even
Yeah.
though the buy-in's not that high, um, I just think it's cool to be able to construct a team that I was high on, that a lot of people were high on. People thought that I would win, and I
Yep.
did. It was nice to not shit the bed, dude.
Like
I
live
could
up to the
easily have been a
expectations
back.
versus
I
what
could
you
have
did in year
easily
one.
been a back. I could have easily been a back-to-back champ if I didn't make a stupid fucking decision 2 seasons ago. If you remember, like I benched.
Yeah, you benched
I did
somebody because of the
something really
weather, right?
something, dude, and I made the wrong choice. Oh, I started Tua, I think, over
So you
Goff
went off.
or
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
wonky
yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then
And I
Goff
would have.
outscored him by however many points it was, and it would have pushed you over the first round win easily. And then, of course, you paid attention to the next two
So
weeks
it
and
was nice to make the right decisions this time around. It was nice that I think pretty handedly like got through the playoffs and won the championship. So that was cool. Um, yeah, I'm ready for the season start. I'm still trying to make some moves. I am. I mean, like I think not that many people are interested in Tua right now because probably the same reasons as me. Like I, I think he might be a product of the scheme. But if they sign him to an extension, I think that immediately increases his value.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing with Goff, right? I mean, I'm in another league. It might be a league that you and I are in with Cam. It might have been Dynasty Degenerates, where he was shopping Laporta, and then as soon as Goff signed the extension, he's like, "Go fuck yourself. Laporta's mine now that Goff's locked up." It's having that contract and that security really secures things because if someone's on an expiring contract, like kind of like Dak, right? It's so ambiguous on what's going to happen to him next year. Or Kirk this
Yeah.
last year. I mean, Kirk going to Atlanta, I think is good. I think it's good for Kirk. I think it's good for all the weapons down there. But that doesn't happen all the time. You have guys like Garner Minshew show up in Oakland, like I'm with the guy. It's like, no, you're not.
I just
So
read that. I just read that Aiden O'Connell's like outplaying Minshew in camp
in
so
camp,
far too.
yeah. So it just it gets scary. So I mean, we'll see what happens with Dak. I hear they're at a standstill as well.
Yeah,
Having
that'll be
all those
interesting.
guys.
Goff, though, I mean, here's the thing about Goff. People gave him shit on the Rams, but he still put up good numbers,
Yep.
and obviously he's put good numbers up with Detroit. It's awesome to see him on that 4-year deal. I'm interested to see, not that keep trade cuts, not like how we talk about that. I'm interested to see how much. I haven't actually checked, like how much did his value change on keep trade cut once he got that extension? Because I think he was like QB 19, and I don't know, like
It's
are there
just so
really.
low.
That seems really low. Wouldn't he, shouldn't he maybe be in like the top 12, top 14 at least?
Yeah, I mean that's what I was gonna say is super low, super not super low, but fairly low end QB1, fairly high end QB2, like 12 to 16 seems right. I started doing best ball fantasy drafts on Underdog today, and man, I was taking him when and where I could to be my QB2.
Yeah,
And I'm super comfortable with it as opposed to some of these
yeah.
other guys. And he's down at like QB 17. There's like people like Tua going over him. Trevor Lawrence is going over him. I'll take him over Trevor Lawrence right now.
See, I wouldn't take Tua over Goff.
No.
And
I would
Trevor
take Goff.
Lawrence,
I would take Goff over. Yeah. I'm with
yeah,
you. I
I
would
would
take
take Goff.
Goff over Tua. I would take Goff over Trevor Lawrence right now.
And Trevor Lawrence is a guy that like I'd probably end up drafting in front of Goff, but that's not based on like I guess it's just age and it's like the belief
It's like
like
your
this year
your
he's going to be
feelings.
top. This
Yeah.
year he's going to be top six,
Yeah,
top
he's
eight.
he's he's 101. He's in Jacksonville. They drafted Brian Thomas. Versus you look at the shit that Goff has done. It's like, man, this guy's
Dude, Goff
doing it.
put up multiple 30, 40 point games. I mean, that's
Yeah,
a steal on a $20 contract. Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome.
No, it's nuts.
Um, I gotta jump, dude. I'm exhausted. Kids are climbing out of their bed. Is there
Yeah.
another question you want to ask me before I let you go?
So the last thing I got really is the thing that we're talking about, the top 10 rivalries. So on the website right now, there's top 10 rivalries in the league, as written
Yeah,
by yours truly. I sent you a sneak preview of it
you
without
did.
spoiling anything. Thoughts on the list? I know that you said you agreed. I think you're on there 3 times. You agreed with
I
all
am.
the 3.5 if you count number 8. You're on there quite a bit. What were your thoughts on that list? Anybody you felt, or any rivalry that you felt got snubbed? Did you think it was all mostly right, or what were your thoughts at when you got to take a look?
Wait, without spoiling it, but I'm supposed to
Without
talk.
without spoiling too much, we'll talk about it. Don't be like, oh, number one was it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I think it's going to be no surprise that the Division of Death, excluding Flynn, that we're on there.
Yeah,
Well, not
a lot.
excluding Flynn. Flynn,
He's on there.
sorry, Flynn, you're on there. Your rival is may
I
or may
think
not be the entire Division of Death.
I
But I
think
mean, yeah, I
everybody's
mean,
on there. I
it's
think
been
Dan and
super
Project
super
are on too.
competitive. Like
Yeah,
between me, Bolt, and Cam. I mean, it's crazy. It's just like anytime one of those guys makes a trade, the other two are like, God damn it, you know? Like
yeah,
I mean, it's constantly an arms race. It'll be super interesting once we do realign what that will look like.
yeah.
But I think that makes sense. Yeah, I think it was a cool read. I think looking at the numbers and how close,
Some of these
um,
matchups are. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. And Codes and I are on there. I'm not gonna
Yep.
spoil what number we are, but Codes and I are on there for good reason. But I beat his ass this year, so what can you say? But
Yeah, I
hey,
think
Codes, you got your guy, man. I know you're happy that that second was untouchable.
even though Blake Curham didn't end up with it. Yeah, I think it's a good list.
No,
Dan
that's the
Dan's
thing. We all joked about Blake Corum. I actually would have loved to draft Blake Corum. I just wasn't gonna draft him at 113.
no, yeah, I agree with you. Dan, the only person not on the list, Project just got here, so he doesn't count. Dan barely missed the cut. I was trying to figure out between him at 10 or him at 11, and he didn't make the cut. But all of us, if you look on the last page, it's 4 pages long on the website right now. The last page is a secret. Everybody's got a rival. Everybody's got a super special rival on the last page, in case you missed it too.
Dan's my rival because he doesn't respond to my messages. It doesn't even have to be a trade. It's just like again, wellness check. I mean,
And he didn't even, he just ghosts you.
I say hello. I did some math for him. I sent him an Adele, if or GIF, whatever it's called. Nothing. I get nothing from him. So he should be a rival of mine.
We'll get it
No,
on
but
there
like
next year.
actually based on matchups and the factor of the division, I think it was cool what you put together. It'll be interesting to see how this year pans out. Like this is a really stacked offensive draft. Like Chase
Yeah.
might have like completely turned his team around,
Yep.
and I think he started to like accrue a ton of picks for next year too.
Yeah, he's already got a
Uh,
couple. Flynn's got a couple, but even Flynn traded one to get to 102. So
to get
there's
Marv, yeah,
other than Project, there's nobody who's saying I am rebuilding. Like I think everybody started to push. I mean, Rick has even said, Rick's the only person that's on the outside that we're like, are you going to rebuild again, or are you going to try to make a push? And he's like, our goal is to win every year. Chase has picked all those players. He didn't push it down the line again. So the entire Achilles Smith division is pushing in. Everybody in your division, as you know, is in except for Flynn. But even Flynn made moves to stay somewhat relevant. Um, Dan didn't make
Flynn believes
cuts
in
to go
himself.
rebuild.
He believes
Flynn does believe in himself.
Flynn believes in himself, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with everybody in the Demarcus Russell division believes in themselves except for Project. So it's like there's only one team who's openly out. The other 11 are either in or mostly in, and that's where I think this
Which
year's
team
gonna
is
be real
openly
fun.
out?
Project.
Project.
Yeah, Project
Yeah.
Badass. Yeah, they're the only ones that are saying, "Hey, I'm out of here." But even then, like their team is still decent. It's not like this. It's not the rollover and die rebuild. It's the because you got to fight for that 101. So um, he's got some pieces there that I think are good, and he still has a decent bit of cap, and we'll try to snag up some other pieces. So that'll do it for this, though, because I know you got to go. Otherwise, you and I'll still talk. I mean, we talked for 30 minutes before we push the record button, so I want to let you get out of here. So, any final thoughts? Anything
Well,
else you want to talk about?
final thoughts are like, what's next? I want to see like a timeline of what content's coming out when. No, I'm kidding. What else are you planning though? I know you're busy as shit with the move and the kid and
Yeah, so I want to do kind of what we did last year. We did like top running back rooms, top wide receiver rooms,
oh
but I
yeah, yeah,
think we
yeah,
got to
yeah.
wait until after the veteran auction to do that. Um, I really like the idea of doing um, similar, like best quarterback contracts in the league, like the top 10 best quarterback or the top, maybe top five best quarterback contracts, top bottom five, like the best and worst
So
quarterback contracts.
one's based on just pure production, talent, whatever, but the other one's based on like the value of the
Yeah,
deal.
exactly right. So like, who is the best quarterback room? So last year you would say probably Mahomes and Allen for me, right? But then that's just best quarterback room. Then when you look at the contracts, who are some of the awesome contracts? Like Goff for $25 in my head immediately is one of the top contracts in the league. Versus Allen, even though it's Josh Allen, $515 it was in year three. It's like holy shit, it's one of the
But
worst.
what did Mahomes finish? What actually did Mahomes finish at last year?
QB8 would fucking know that.
Which is
Not
still
had a ton of
good.
leagues.
Which is still good. But when you're paying for like Mahomes being like QB1, QB2.
Yeah, yeah, difficult. I hope to God I can do something this year because I did not want to have to do it. Yeah, QB8. Look at that. I knew that off the top of my head. It's scary. That does it for us. I'm gonna let you go. It's been fun.
All right, cool, man. We got to make this trade in my 16 team league. All right, dude. I'll see you. Bye.
All right, man. You guys have a good night. Thanks for watching.